All right, in this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through basically, how you go about getting your project done when it comes to getting your headlights customized. We kind of have a checklist listed over here, and I'm going to walk you through that checklist right now so that you fully understand it. Okay, so the first thing in this checklist is cost. We are assuming that you fully understand the cost that's going to be involved in your project. You watched our video that talks about how to get yourself an estimate for your custom headlight project. So you understand those costs and you're ready to move forward. The next thing you need to understand how to do, and you see in the list, is shipping. So you have the means to ship your lights. You fully understand how to safely package your lights, the timelines involved with getting them shipped to us, so that you can plan for that, and so on. The next thing would be the timeline, and this is a big one because everybody is really in a hurry to get their lights back. We understand that the lights that you send us are probably the lights that are on your daily vehicle, and without your lights you cannot use that. Okay, so we want you to fully understand what the timelines are going to look like for getting your lights sent out to us, and then ultimately getting them back as you requested. So first thing you want to do in factoring in that timeline is to know how long it's going to take to ship them from you to us. Now you can get that information if you watch, we assume that you watched our shipping video. You can use ShipNerd to go about getting not only your cost, but what the time frame is, when the estimated delivery is for your lights. So let's go, let's say that your estimated shipping time from you to us is 3 days. All right, so you're going to want to factor in 3-day timeline for shipping. Now, we ask that you plan for the lights to be with us for 7 days. Now, it may be sooner than that, but we try to commit to making sure that we get your lights back to you within a 7-day turnaround time frame, so that you can plan accordingly. All right, so we have 3 days shipping. Let's say it's UPS ground. We need them for 7 days. Now we're at 10 days right now before they're ready to head back to you. Now the shipping back to you, we generally use UPS ground. So if it was 3 days in the beginning, it's going to be 3 days back. So you have a total time frame of 3, 7, and then 3 back. That's 13 days. Which, go ahead and round that up to 2 weeks. It's always better to plan for the worst and be happy when it's better. But you would want to plan about 2 weeks. Now, if you needed to, reduce that time frame, what you can do is you can pay for expedited shipping. So you could, let's say, pay for next day shipping, which is going to significantly increase your shipping costs and overall project costs. But you could say a next day shipping. So now you're looking at 1 day to get them from you to us. Then if you want us to ship it back in the same way, which we will bill you for it, we can have next day shipping on the return side. So now you're looking at a day, 7 days. The 7 days does not change, and then a day back. So now you're looking at a total of like 9 days. So you did reduce that amount of downtime. Okay. So either way, make sure that you fully understand the timelines that you are committing to when you're getting your headlights customized. And this is going to be pretty much standard for a lot of other headlight builders. Okay, some may be longer. We're very strict about making sure that people don't just randomly send us their lights. That does not work for us. It will not work for you. We need to plan it out so that we can commit to turnaround times that you can use in your planning purposes. So that's why we have this system in place. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's take a look at how you go about identifying a time that you can get them to us, and how you kind of reserve that, and how you proceed from there. So the first thing I'm going to need you to do is scroll down to our calendar. Now, this calendar is the tool that we use to allow customers to see when we have available slots, and for you to go ahead and reserve your spot on the calendar. So when you're looking at the calendar, you can shift to different months by clicking on this arrow here. When you're on the specific month that you're looking to get your lights done in, any date that has a blue shaded circle on it is an available day for you to have your lights arrive to us. So let's say, for example, you intended to have your lights arrive to us on the 19th. You would click that day. Don't worry about the time. They're all going to say 9 a.m. You'll select 9 a.m. You'll hit confirm, and then you'll go ahead and you will fill in all of the information that we request here. Once you have this information filled out, you will hit schedule event. Once your event is scheduled, you will get an email with a confirmation letting you know that this event has been scheduled. It'll even include a calendar invitation that you can go ahead and add to your calendar if you choose to do so. And now your slot on the calendar has been reserved. At this point, it's really, really important that you go up here and you hit the buy with PayPal option so that you can put your $100 deposit down so that date you selected stays reserved. Now at this point here, it's going to open up the PayPal window. If you're not a PayPal user, that is totally fine. We have the option for you to pay with a debit or credit card. If you are a PayPal user and you choose to do so, you can go ahead and log in here. We're going to select pay with debit or credit card. At this point here, please be sure that the phone number that you list here and the billing address matches that which you have put into the calendar, so that way we can match up your deposit with your calendar reservation date. If we have things that are reserved on the calendar that don't match a deposit, then we remove those because we take it as somebody reserved a date but didn't put a deposit to hold that date. So put in your information, go ahead and hit continue, and you will be able to pay for, put your $100 deposit down. Now remember, this deposit will be applied towards your build. Now, if for some reason you have to cancel your reservation, we understand, but you will not. This deposit is non-refundable, so we have to be really strict about that in most cases, and just we will not refund this deposit. You can always reschedule in the future, that's fine, but you will have to put another $100 deposit down. The $100 deposit that you lost you lost it. That will not be applied to the future reservation in most cases. Now, if we need to cancel this reservation for any reason, which is not common at all, really, but if we had to, then that is obviously a refundable deposit and no penalty. And we would just work with you on getting another date reserved, hopefully on the calendar. All right. Now, please be sure to check out some of this information below. We've tried to include some helpful videos on, hey, what are some of the costs that I'm going to be involved in? We assume that when you make a reservation and pay this $100 deposit, that you have a really good idea of exactly what the cost is going to be. Now, once you make your deposit, within 24 hours, we're going to give you a phone call. We're going to go over all the details of your project and make sure that you have a final cost. But again, we are under the assumption that you understand very closely what your costs are going to be. So if you are unsure, you should check this information out here. We definitely want you to check out the packaging tips, shipping tips video. It is long, very detailed, but please check it out so that we don't have any issues with packaging and shipping. So again, once you make this deposit, you'll get a phone call from us within 24 hours of making it. All right, so you've gone ahead and you have put your deposit down and reserved your spot on our calendar. You're ready to send your lights out. So what does that process look like from here? How do we communicate throughout until the time when you get those lights back to you? So when you place your order, you're going to get an order confirmation number, okay? So that will let you know that your deposit was received and everything is all booked. You're also going to get when you book that spot on our calendar, you will get a confirmation there. So you're going to have two confirmations. What you're going to get after you have put down your deposit is you're going to get an email or a phone call from us within 24 hours, just kind of connecting with you and making sure that you're ready to go with getting your lights sent out. Okay. So you're going to send your lights to us. We're going to ask that you provide us with your tracking information so that we can keep track of those lights as they are making their way from you to us. Now, we fully expect that your lights arrive on or before the day that you scheduled on the calendar. If your lights are not going to make it on time because something happened and you were unable to get those lights shipped out, don't ship your lights out. You need to reach out to us. You need to reschedule your time. We cannot have your lights coming in many days later because that potentially is when other customers will have their lights coming in as well. So please reach out to us. If we do have an available slot within that time frame, we can shift you, but in many cases we're going to have to cancel that reservation. You will not get your money back. You will not get that deposit back. That's part of our policy on it. It's just the way that it is. You can go ahead and reserve another spot. You'll have to put another deposit down. That deposit you lost will not get applied towards your new project costs. That's just how it is. Okay, we got to be real strict about that. We need people to make sure that once you commit and you reserve that spot, that you do everything that you can to make sure that you get your lights to us on time so that we can get them back to you in the timelines that we are setting forth here. Okay, so you send your lights out to us, we get your lights. We're going to go ahead and we're going to inspect your lights, make sure everything arrived in one piece, that everything is good. We're going to go ahead and communicate with you through email or text, letting you know, hey, we got the lights, here's, we're good to go. Absolute worst case scenario is they don't arrive, something happens, we got to work with you and communicate with you on that and solve that problem, whatever that may be. But once we get your lights, we are going to communicate with you. Now, once we have your lights, we're going to get to work on them. Now, during that scope of time, don't expect us to be sending you little pictures or communications with little updates. We understand that you're excited and you want your lights back and you've spent a lot of money, but we want to spend all of the time that we have ensuring that we are focused on your project, and we're not going to be staging up little pictures here and there and sending those out. That is just not what we do. You may not like that, and if that's the case and you want a builder that can do that, totally understand that. Definitely should seek some of those builders out that can do that, but we just simply want to get your project done at the highest quality that we can provide and back to you in a timely fashion that we've committed to. So we're going to work on your lights. We're going to get them done as you requested. When they're done, before we seal them up, we're going to send you a picture of them. We're going to say, hey, this is here's what you requested. You're going to go ahead and give us the thumbs up on that. Very rarely do we have a problem where we don't build them specific to your request. If that were the case, we would make a quick correction and reconfirm with a new picture that, hey, everything is good to go. We get your lights put back together, and I send you your final invoice that includes all of the costs that are involved with the project. That invoice will come to you. We use PayPal to do our invoicing. You don't have to be a PayPal user. You can just pay it electronically as a guest. It's just a payment processor that we use. So like I said, you don't have to be a PayPal member or user. So you're going to pay that invoice. We're going to get confirmation that that invoice has been paid. Once we get that confirmation, which is instant, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a label slapped on the boxes, and those lights will be ready to go back out. Now, they will go out within 24 hours of getting that payment received. Sometimes, we invoice you, it's later in the day, we just simply can't, UPS has already come and gone. It will get picked up the next day. Okay, so pay that invoice in full, and then the lights, you'll get tracking information, and the lights will go out within 24 hours. Once they go out, you'll track those lights. they'll come back to you. We ask that, when you get them, that you do an inspection. If the box looks damaged, if it looks like it was mishandled during shipping, we need you to stop and take pictures of that box. Okay. All right. So then, if at any point, once you've got your lights, they're installed, if at any point down the road you have any sort of an issue with your lights, we're here to support you. We offer a lifetime warranty on the craftsmanship, which is just simply all the work that we've done, the integrity of the installation of all the components, any of the paint, all of that stuff is warranted for as long as you own those lights. It's not transferable to new owners. When you sell that vehicle, it's only for you. So if you were to ever have an issue with your lights, you just simply reach out to us and we go ahead and proceed with figuring out what may be going on with whatever issue you may be having at the time. We've been doing this for 15 years. We are very good at what we do. We very, very rarely have any sort of issues related to the craftsmanship of the work that we do. Most all of the installed components that you have come with a warranty from the manufacturer. So if you were to run into, let's say we installed a new set of LED running lights and something were to go wrong with those, we first need to diagnose that. Once we've diagnosed the problem, if the problem requires us to go back into the lights, the only thing we ask of you is that you pay for getting them shipped to us. We will cover the shipping back to you. That's the only cost that you will incur. Now, in most cases, any issue related to installed components can be remedied without having to send us back any of those components or any of the lights. Okay, so we are here for as long as you need us after you've received your lights back to support you. All right, so that there is really what the process entails. We want you to be fully comfortable with that process before you go ahead and send your lights out to us.